Lois Queen sat at her desk in the Daily Planet making phone calls. After many misses, she manages to snag 2 tickets to Malcolm Malone's charity function from a connection she had at Galaxy Communications. She called Jimmy over and told him of their good luck. Jimmy didn't feel too lucky. Jonathan walked into the home he was sharing with Martha in Metropolis. Martha was in the kitchen cooking breakfast. She asked where did Jonathan get off to so early in the morning. Jonathan told her he went to visit a friend he's been helping out. He lived above the bar. Martha wondered if it was wise for him to hang around the bar now that he was sober. Jonathan assured her everything was fine and he was just there to help out his friend. She asked what type of help did he need. Jonathan said right now he needed help with a sort of relic he found. It was extraterrestrial and he wondered if she had any contacts with a scientist who might have some information on it. Martha said she had little faith that his friend from the bar would have a legitimate alien artifact, but the only connections she could think of were the Luthors, and she knew what he thought of them. Jonathan kissed her on the cheek and thanked her anyway. Tess entered the charity function at Malcolm Malone's mansion on his arm. Across the street in the shadows lurked Clark. He took the bartender's suggestion and Googled Malone. He couldn't find much on him. Clark had been editor-in-chief of the Daily Planet, and he knew that if he couldn't find information on someone like Malone, it was because he worked hard to bury it. Lois and Jimmy entered the party not long after Tess, but they worked hard not to be noticed by Tess and Malone. Lois hoped that Malone would be too enamored with the Dragon Lady to notice an intrepid reporter sneaking around his private rooms. Jimmy pointed out that Malone didn't need to keep an eye on Lois. His security team could do that for them. Malone had just as many security guards inside as he did outside. Lois found it suspicious. Why did he have so many guards at his home? Did he own the Hope Diamond? Jimmy suggested that maybe he was worried about his safety because of his line of work. Lois remarked, yeah, because Rupert Murdoch was also very worried about people trying to kill him. No, she mused, there was something here that he needed to protect. Jimmy said that if it was important enough to have a small army protected, it must be dangerous. Lois felt that that was more reason for her to find out what it was. What was it and who was it for? Lois scanned the room and saw a dark hallway leading out of it that had quite a few guards in it. Lois pointed it out to Jimmy. Jimmy asked, how was she supposed to get past all those guards? Lois smiled at Jimmy and patted him on the shoulder. Malone was introducing Tess to some of his friends, all of them international businessmen. Tess told them it was very touching that they would care so much about the orphans of Metropolis. They returned that they were always interested in helping out a noble cause. Tess took note of the nervous smiles they aimed at Malone and Malone's smug smile in return. The security guards were standing around not really paying attention to the party. They didn't think they had anything to worry about with a room full of rich stiffs. Suddenly the alarms on all of their phones start to go off. Intruder on an upper floor. They all file out to investigate. Once the coast is clear, Lois carefully walked into the dark hallway and slipped into one of the rooms.